In your entire NHL career as a player, was there ever a player that you felt that you just loved to kind of play against and go against? Was there ever that guy that you just couldn't wait to kind of just go up against? Not so much, say, a rival, but just a guy that you really enjoyed kind of matching up with?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, Andrew, it's a good question. It's a great question, actually. I mean, there were, a boatload of guys in the era that I played, whether it was guys that I had watched on TV 3, 4, 5 years prior to that, or, came into the league when I did. A guy like Mario Lemieux, who was drafted first overall in that 1984 draft, and I went third overall, and obviously had known who Mario was, but, playing against a guy like, Wayne Gretzky, or playing with Dennis Savard or Steve Larmer, two of the greatest Blackhawks of all time. So, I mean, I was very lucky to be able to play against a lot of great players. And, when you are playing against the best or playing with the best, it certainly takes your game to another level. And, the challenges of going head to head or going up against their team. I mean, hockey to me is the ultimate team game, but the individuals make up the team. And when you do have world-class players, the numbers speak for themselves. But I was lucky enough to play in an era where some of the greatest players that have ever played in the game, I was able to either play with or play against, and very proud of the era that that I played in between 1984 and 2000.
Yeah, definitely, man. Absolutely, Eddie. I mean, you played against certainly some of the best we've ever seen before. You said Mario Lemieux, so from there, I actually want to kind of turn it on that. You obviously coached Mario Lemieux. You've also coached some of the soon-to-be greats such as Sidney Crosby, Marc-Andre Fleury, Mark Ricci, along with so many other great names when you were with the Boston Bruins. I wanted to ask you, what was it like to make the transition going from being a player to a coach, and what was that experience like being a coach?
I mean, I miss it. I miss it a lot. I miss the teaching. I missed watching the players enjoy success. I miss the part of trying to fix the losing. I retired in 2000. I got into the TV booth for 3 years and inquired about and interviewed for a head coaching job with the Pittsburgh Penguins in the summer of 2003. And obviously had a good interview, and I had gone into the interview actually to paint a picture. The Pittsburgh Penguins had their two minor league teams did not have coaches at the time, so they didn't have a coach in the organization, either at the NHL level, the American League, or the East Coast Hockey League. And I went in there for the American Hockey League job, and the next thing you know, I'm getting offered the head coaching job with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So,
oh, wow.
I didn't have any experience, but I mean, look, when you look at where sports are today. I mean, look at John Lynch, the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers. They went to the Super Bowl last year, and he had gone from the broadcast booth to become general manager. David Ross, the manager of the Chicago Cubs, no managerial experience. Aaron Boone, the manager of the New York Yankees, went from the TV booth to in the dugout. It's happened numerous times in basketball, so it really wasn't, maybe at the time it was a tad, out of the norm for hockey, but it's happened in other sports. And, you could look up, I mean, baseball, it happened quite a bit where players went from playing to managing. So, I think the toughest challenge is having played with some of those guys, like I had played with Mario, but in that situation, Mario was also the owner of the team. He happened to be the captain of the team, and so that was an interesting dynamic to be the head coach of a player that owns the team, and obviously one of the greatest players ever to play in the National Hockey League. So I enjoyed it very much. I mean, I was a little disappointed I wasn't able to see it through, but, we had a plan, and we were going to blow it up and rebuild and be a part of a 5-year plan. And unfortunately, I was only there the first 2+ years, and then eventually the Penguins went on and won a Stanley Cup within that 5 years. But it was something I would never trade in for. It made me a better broadcaster. I think it made me a better hockey guy, and I miss it. I miss it every day, but I'm very much at peace at what I'm doing now, broadcasting games locally in Chicago for the Blackhawks and also nationally and on NBC. But some of the players you mentioned of Mario Lemieux and Sidney Crosby and Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, those guys are not only world-class players, but when you have a relationship with somebody and you respect them as much as I do, it really means a lot when you're able to to be around them and to know them away from the hockey rink. So, like I said, I'm disappointed the way it worked, that it kind of finished there when I was only able to see it through a couple of years. But I know that certainly helped me in my broadcasting career.
Absolutely. And what a great broadcasting career it has been, of course, too. But when we do come back from this break, ladies and gentlemen, we will be talking more here with Eddie Olczyk about his broadcasting career and so much more. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the X-Bomb Sports Live Show.